Hello everyone and welcome to a really awesome attacking game that was played in 2003 in the Hunguest Hotel Super Chess Tournament. It's a weird name, I know, but they didn't seem to mind. And here Judit Polgar faces Hungarian Grandmaster Ferenc Berkes in really just a crushing attack, if you will. And there will be a couple of great pause the video moments, 3 of them, because Judit's attacks are extremely fierce and you constantly have to find what's happening here. So without further ado, let's check it out and see what happened in this game. And thank you to Franje Tuđmana for recommending this game. It's really an awesome one. So hopefully you guys will enjoy it as well. So Judit with the white pieces opens with e4. We have e6, Berkes goes for the French defense, we have d4, d5, knight to c3, and now knight to f6, going for the classical variation. We have bishop to g5, pinning the knight, preparing e5, and now d captures on e4. We have knight captures and bishop to e7. Now defending the knight, now black is threatening to capture this knight on e4. So Judit captures on f6, bishop captures, and now this pawn is attacked twice, so just defend while developing knight to f3. So making sure you constantly develop your pieces as, Morphy taught us all. We have castles and queen to d2. Again, developing and preparing to castle queenside, which immediately brings another attacker into the game. We have knight to d7 and now queenside castles. We have bishop back to e7. And now comes bishop to d3, and here b6. Black wants to develop his light square bishop to this long diagonal, and here there are some games where h4 was played where you just want to start pushing that pawn right away, but here Judit goes for knight e to g5, now with the threat of just picking up the h7 pawn. Berkes says that's not really doing anything, let's just play h6, so now it doesn't really matter, h7 square, there's no pawn there, but Judit goes bishop to h7 with check, king to h8, and now bishop back to e4, so putting pressure on that rook on a8, and the knight is still hanging here. So what do you play here? You could capture the knight or you could move the rook. So here capturing rook to b8 is a known move. It's been played, but here h captures on g5 has also been played, but only in this game and one modern game from 2019. So we're going to discuss that, but now it's a really tricky position. How do you continue this position with white? And this is only the first of the 3 pause the video moments we're going to have in this game, because it's such a wild attacking game. So feel free to pause the video here and try to find the absolute best way to continue the attack for Judit while I give you a couple of seconds. So for those of you who were able to do it, congratulations on not playing h4 or capturing the rook or h4. That's not how we do it on this channel. Here g4 is the move, and this is very important. To give you a demonstration, if you play h4, then you basically give black all the options in the world. Black can just play g4. You're never going to open up the h file for your rook, and now what do you play? You could grab the rook, but just bishop to a6, and still the knight is under attack. Now the bishop is under attack. Once the bishop moves, we're just gonna pick up the piece, and after the bishop moves, let's say knight f6, and we're perfectly happy playing this position. We're up material, and white doesn't really have any way of attacking the black king. So what you have to do here after this capture is play g4. Now Judit is saying, now I'm gonna play h4 on the next move, and your pawn is stuck here, so I'm definitely opening up the h file. So here the game continued. We have rook to b8, black saves the rook now, but now h4. And now, of course, you could capture and claim that your queen and bishop are guarding the pawn, but just g5, and next you're going to capture here. So there's no way of keeping the h-file closed. So instead, after h4, we have g6, making some breathing room for the king here on g6, and now comes h captures on g5, opening up a discovery from the rook here. We have king to g7, and now comes queen to f4, another very deadly move, threatening some very nasty ideas. And here, there is one game that I mentioned, a modern game where rook to h8 was played, and that game ended in a draw. But this game from 2003, where bishop to b7 was played, most certainly did not end in a draw. So now bishop to b7, threatening to take out one of the attackers. But you guys are here to help Judit. Feel free to pause the video for the second time and find the winning idea while I give you a couple of seconds again. So for those of you who were able to do it, congratulations on finding the only move that successfully continues the attack for white. And for those of you who just want to enjoy the show, it's rook to h7 with check. That's the good stuff. That's why the queen came to f4, so you could sacrifice the rook, and then you have this check, and then you can bring the queen to h6 if needed. So here you have to capture it. If you don't capture, if you play king to g8, then just rook d to h1, and you are very quickly getting checkmated here. So instead, after this rook to h7, king captures on h7 was played, but now comes queen to h2 with check, and now we have to go to g8. If you go to g7, then it's just queen to h6 check, king to g8, and now this bishop captures on g6. Very nasty idea. And here after f captures, we're going to play queen captures, king h8, and rook to h1 checkmate. So there's even that. So instead, after queen to h2 check, we have king to g8. Now the queen coming here will not come with check, but here Judit still plays it because it comes with an unstoppable idea. We have rook d to h1, now threatening both queen h7 and queen to h8 checkmate, and there's only one move black can play basically to prevent mate, and that is bishop captures on g5 with check. And now again, there's the question of how do you play this? Once again, pause the video here and try to find the winning idea for white. It's not a simple one. Well, I give you a couple of seconds. So for those of you who were able to do it, congratulations on capturing on g5. I know this is probably the first thing you thought of, but then you were like, nah, that's probably not it. We have to move our king. The problem is if you play king to b1, yes, it seems like you're still enjoying the same threats, but there's a problem here. What if you play king to g7? And now, how do you win this? Now the rook guards this square, and if you bring the queen to h7, then the king escapes. King f6. We're gonna capture here on g5, but we don't care. Bishop captures here, knight captures on e4 with check, king e7, and now after queen to h4 check, we're just gonna play king to e8, and our king is very much safe here. We're up a whole rook, and we're gonna win this game. And another thing, after bishop captures on g5, if you go king to d1, it's not much better. I mean, it's pretty much the same thing. So what you would have to do here is just capture the bishop, and now it works, because now after queen captures with check, now we block with f4. You could, for example, you couldn't block with f4 because the knight here, so capturing with the knight also comes in handy in freeing up the pawn to be pushed to f4. And now there really isn't anything you can do here, just queen h7 or queen to h8 will be checkmate. And while you can resign here, maybe you could try and play this game, king g7, maybe still try to escape, but it still doesn't matter. Just check, king f6, we're gonna pick up the queen, king e7, and we're even gonna pick up the bishop here after rook captures. It's a queen and rook against two rooks and knight, but it's an ugly position for black. Black could maybe play this, you know, and hope for something, but you know, that doesn't really make sense. So here, black just captured on f4, and here he allowed Judit to just win the game on the spot. So here now it's check, so you can't deliver checkmate. So queen captures was played, we have bishop captures, and now queen captures on e4, and it was in this position on move 24 that Ferenc Berkes resigned the game, as there is nothing more to be done here. So really a wild attacking game, and it really took a lot of unique moves, because in all of these positions, for example here, after this bishop to e4, you really have to find this g4 move in order to continue the attack. It's not incredibly difficult, because you know if you push h4, your opponent will play g4, but still you had to find g4, then you had to find after bishop to b7, you had to find this beautiful rook to h7 sacrifice, and then again you had an opportunity to make a mistake here after bishop captures on g5. If you just move the king, you have to capture and then block with f4. So those were the three obstacles that you know, were in front of you this game, and hopefully you resolved all of them and you achieved a great victory alongside Judit. So yeah, that's the game. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Really an impressive win for Judit. And if you're wondering how Judit did in this tournament, we do have the standings here, or rather I hope we do. Yeah, we do. Yeah, we have the standings of the Hunguest Hotels Super Chess Tournament. Yeah, that's a great name. So there you have it. Nigel Short won the tournament with 6.5 out of 9. He won his encounter against Judit. Judit with 5.5. Peter Leko, who defeated Judit, is in third place, half a point behind Judit. Then we have Christopher Lutz, Peter Ax, Boris Gelfand, Viktor Korchnoi, Sergei Movsesian, Ferenc Berkes, and Zoltan Almasi. So a lot of really strong players and the big names that Judit left behind, and well, it was only Nigel Short who stood in her way to grab first place. But really an impressive game. Thank you for suggesting it, and again, it shows the power of hashtag suggestion, because I'm only one person, there are many of you, and there will always be games that we will enjoy seeing that I might not even be aware of. So thank you for suggesting them. Once again, hope you guys enjoyed that. I would like to thank Alexander Williamson, Derek King, Jorge Campos, David Trainer, and Kevin Stormeyer for your contribution to my channel. Thank you a lot, I really appreciate it. As usual, you can check 2 of my previous videos here. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you soon, continuing the coverage of the Morphe saga, checking up on your wonderful suggestions, such as this one, and whatever else happens in the chess world. Thank you all, I will see you soon, and have an excellent rest of your day.